This week on the Jock and Nerd Podcast, we review the Season 2 premiere of Andor, plus reactions to new trailers for Fantastic Four First Steps, Predator Badlands, and Alien Earth, big announcements from Star Wars Celebration, thoughts on the latest episode of Last of Us, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, April 28th, 2025.
Hey, what's up? It's Taylor Gray, the voice of Ezra Bridger on Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, what's up, listener? How's it going? Thank you for pressing play, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
And joining us, he puts the ass in Cassian. He's our very own Andor. It's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
How you doing? I sell my ass to the galaxy, all seven of them.
Oh, all seven galaxies or seven asses?
Yeah, you want to see my black
Jesus.
hole?
You know what the
God.
show... You don't want to see your black hole or your brown hole. You know the show I want to see? I need Star Wars to combine Andor and Honora and just call it Andorra. And what is it about? About a space prostitute who actually found the plans to the Death Star. Can we get that done?
I think that might be the plot to this.
That might be the plot to Andor, finally. Like, how did... it was a lieutenant. The Empire.
We're all going to find out that's how we got there.
Andorra. Come on, Mikey Madison. Make it happen. It's not going to happen. But we do have Star Wars stuff to talk about. I know Anthony's always excited when we have Geek Boner Star Wars things.
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah,
Can't you tell?
And some other fun stuff. We'll get him pumped up. Let's get started.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Anthony, maybe you're pumped about this. We get a first official trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps. We had the teaser, which was very long. But now this is a full trailer showing us some story beats, some more of the world, our first look at Julia Garner as Shala Bell, Silver Surfer, and some other fun things. You see Reed's stretchy powers for a hot second. What did you think, Anthony? Get you more hype for this movie or not?
I would say appropriately hyped. Not over the moon about it, but the
Geek Boner.
I think that the tone and the aesthetic is very appealing. I liked. Just the shots of the thing and the costumes. It all looks pretty comic book accurate. They're seemingly really leaning into that. Now we do get the story beat of Sue Storm being pregnant.
She's preggers.
So they go right away with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, and then I like the little speech he gives at the end where he says, "We will protect you," or "We will save you," or I forgot exactly what he says, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. So I think it all looks pretty good. I think this is probably the most hyped movie Marvel's going to put out this year, although Thunderbolts, not to talk about that too much, but that's getting a lot of really good hype as well.
Yeah.
I think the thing that everyone was talking about outside of just their thoughts on the overall trailer was people were up in arms about a female Silver Surfer.
It's not a gender swap. It's an actual just female surfer.
Oh, okay. So that is a comic book accurate.
Yes, she's kind of
it's like
obscure.
an Elseworlds thing too.
Got it.
But the Silver Surfer is like a mantle. It's not, different people. So
Right.
see, this is a female version. I forget from where, but she's from the comics. So.
Yeah, and then I like the story beat of Reed's curiosity and wanting to explore the multiverse has basically alerted Galactus about the Earth. And that's why Galactus is there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everybody knows their story, and it starts with that whole "thank you, Fantastic Four," but then later in the trailer, the dude's like, "Are we safe?" And Pedro Pascal's like, "I don't know." So there's a dramatic shift there. Ruggs, what'd you think of the old surfer? And look at Reed's stretchy powers there.
Well, before I say anything, I want to just I don't appreciate you gaslighting the audience. When Anthony said that he wasn't over the moon about it, you played geek boner.
Okay.
That's not the effect that you play when someone says I'm not over the moon about it.
Okay. It's just
Floppy John. Why are you trying to brainwash the audience?
Listen, I only have
you liked it.
I only have a positive and a negative soundbite. I don't have like an in the middle.
It's like Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Like you can only rate it fresh
right.
or rotten.
It's either geek boner or floppy jock. So
all right. Okay.
I don't know what the middle one is. We have to come up with something, listener.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. What could that be?
Meh. Just like a meh. I don't know.
That'd be like I had to stick my boner into my waistband.
Oh, what? Okay. Maybe this is
I stick it up my asshole.
Maybe that's the one for just it's okay. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
What's like a mid-range boner? What do you call that?
What's a half chub? It's like a half chub.
It is called a half chub.
So what would a half chub? What sound does a half chub make?
It's like the kind of boner you get when you've had one too many whiskeys.
Yes. It's
or when you yawn too long.
What? Yawning gives you erections?
You're like sleepy and you yawn and then you like, oh, I have morning wood happening.
Oh, you're yawn too.
Listen, all right. Write it in the comments if you've experienced this. I'm not the only one. I know it.
Well, yeah, please. If we have any listener that can verify yawning boners, let us know.
A yawner.
A yawner. I've not heard of a yawner. I know yawning is contagious, and if you yawn in the mirror, you pee yourself instantly. That's what I've heard.
Someone's felt this. I know it. All right.
It's a yawner.
What do I think of Shala balls?
Yeah. What do you think of the balls here?
Look,
shiny silver balls.
If they want to do this, if they want to pull like Silver Surfer Girl from like some like kind of obscure part of the comics and make it canon, fine. Like I'm okay. Whatever. It's fine. So I'm not up in arms about it being a female Silver Surfer. I just don't like the way it looks. I feel like it's underwhelmingly like unexciting. It almost looks like a dull Silver Surfer Girl.
I mean, she's silver.
Yeah, but this is something not that compelling about it. I feel like the effects are not any better than they were in Tim Story's version.
I mean, yeah, it's like it should have looked like the T-1000. So Shala Bell, first appearance, 1968, Silver Surfer #1, created by Stan Lee, John Buscema, and initially a love interest of Norrin Rad.
Yeah, she never was a Silver Surfer until like another Elseworlds version or an alternate version, I believe. And then they brought her in, just like with Miles Morales, they brought him into the canon after a while.
Sure, why not?
And they do that a lot. That's what they do. They're making comics every month for fucking centuries. All right. For decades, they're making these comics.
They're still making those?
Yeah. And they're still making them.
What did you think of overall, like the tone?
I think it's an Elseworlds, obviously. And it's got, I like its unique looking place. It's like a nice little departure from the like Marvel universe that we know. And this has got a little bit more of a punch of color with the blues and the oranges. So it's visually interesting.
Absolutely.
I feel like all the actors are okay. Like none of them I'm really great about. I think all of the casting is fine. Not like inspiring, just fine. So, but you know, Doom's not going to be in this, but they do have a giant kaiju-sized Galactus, which I appreciate.
I love that Galactus walking through the street shot at the end. That's fun.
Does his size just alternate all the time?
Probably.
Yes. He can make himself as big or as small as he wants.
Sure. Yeah. And apparently a lot of it is mocap that Ralph Ineson is playing it. He did a lot of mocap in a Galactus outfit. So we're probably going to see his face and a lot more. That shot of the planet being destroyed is very interesting. Is that Earth? I like Ben pulling the ship. That's kind of cool. The Fantastic Car. I love this. The production design, the aesthetics, the 60s vibe. But this is a world where Reed Richards adds technology to the 60s. So it's like high tech, but also retro. It's fantastic. It looks great. The Thing looks great.
Is it fantastic?
It's absolutely fantastic car. So yeah, no, looks. I like this trailer. I like the stuff we got to see. And yes, this and Thunderbolts look like two different movies. So it's refreshing from Marvel.
Yeah, I have a geek yawner.
A geek yawner. That's Listener, let us know what's in between Floppy Jock and Geek Boner. You can join this conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. It's a closed, exclusive group just for our boner jokes and dick jokes and other things, of course. Okay, moving on, fellas. We talked about the Predator Killer or Killers, the surprise animated movie. Dan Trachtenberg, who brought us Prey, is putting out this year, but we finally get a teaser trailer for the live-action Predator movie, also coming out this year. Predator Badlands. Ruggs, let's start with you this time. A lot of interesting things in this trailer.
Yeah.
What did you think? I have a little bit of detail on the character and the story, but what did you think of this new Predator trailer?
Well, I'll say this. The fact that they're trying to do this is kind of ballsy. You're taking a big swing where you're following the protagonist.
Yeah.
Is a predator.
Yes.
So that's cool.
It's different.
If they could pull it off, it might be interesting. If it's like, I make it to a comparison to Apocalypto, where you're watching a movie and you're reading subtitles because you don't understand what they're saying, but it still could be very compelling. I don't like the way the Predator looks.
No?
No.
You get a good look at it.
They had a side-by-side of the original mask from the Arnold movie that's practical, and they have this CGI version that's being used in the movie, I think. I don't know if it's practical. It doesn't look it. And it's night and day about the level of detail and
practical
personality.
Mask. Yeah.
And even just the way how cool it looks, it's like it feels like they softened it up too much.
Well, this is a rather human-like young predator who's trying to prove himself.
Is this a child predator, that's Michael Jackson?
That's Michael Jackson.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, that's
not funny.
It's a child predator. It's a teenager. So, Anthony, what do you think of this trailer? Did this tickle your geek boner?
Whoa. Let's not use tickle and predator in the same sentence.
Yeah, predator is hard to talk about.
Especially coming from someone of your ilk.
Yes.
Predator Badlands. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know that a trailer was coming out, so I was pleasantly surprised to see this on your notes.
Nice.
Here. I didn't catch it when it first came out a few days ago, and I initially was like, "Oh, is this another trailer for that stupid?" No, I'm just kidding. For that animated thing.
No,
but it wasn't. And when I first watched it, I went, "Whoa! Like this kind of looks cool. Like I enjoy that they're taking a big swing here, and this is a different direction. And it's the same people that made Predator Prey, Prey. Dan Trachtenberg. I like the angle of following a predator and taking the predator concept and flipping it a little bit, like taking the things we know, but then really expanding the lore. I agree with Ruggs. I think the face does look, in comparison to the original Predator, like it doesn't look as good. I don't think it looks bad. It's just we've seen what it can be. So I don't know why they're doing the CGI thing, but it doesn't look horrible either, right? Like I think it looks okay. I like the hair being like a ponytail.
Yeah, he's got like dreads that it's like pulled back.
Yeah, I kind of like that look. The shots of the girl and her eyes and all this, like it looks very futuristic. It's a lot of things where you go, "What's that? What's going on there?"
You know what's going on there, Ruggs?
Yeah, it's an android from Weyland-Yutani. It's got the Weyland symbol in the eye.
Elle Fanning possibly playing twin synth androids, Weyland-Yutani versions, and people are speculating, are they trying to set up Alien versus Predator? Because I also heard from Jeff Snyder, Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus follow-up script also possibly includes a Predator in it.
Yeah. So design doesn't look great, but I like the concept. I initially was in. I did watch one review that brought up a good point. It was Sean Chandler, where he said same thing, but also said, and we know the formula to what works for Predator.
Right.
And it's Predator hunting people.
Yeah.
Right. And anytime they've gone and tried to expand the lore a little bit with Predators, with Adrian Brody, or the Predator with the Shane Black movie, they've failed in a lot of cases, sometimes failed really badly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I tend to lean towards I'm pretty excited for this, and because of the pedigree that who's making this, but they haven't really nailed a Predator movie outside of that concept either. So
yeah, I mean, like you said, I trust in Prey was great, so I like that. First of all, I like Fede Alvarez is going to kind of like take over Alien. He gets it. I think Dan Trachtenberg gets Predator, so you have two good creatives on these IPs. But the story of this character, his name is Deck, and he's the runt, and he picks this planet to prove his worth. You see an older Predator. I think they're killing somebody else with this arm chopped off. Dan Trachtenberg said he was the relationship between Deck and Elle Fanning's character. He was inspired by the 2005 PlayStation game Shadow of the Colossus. Ruggs, you've played that, right?
Sure.
So that kind of relationship, he mentioned something about the character and his horse is kind of like this kind of relationship.
Oh, okay. Weird.
But the most important thing, the funnest thing is the very first shot of this trailer in this skull throne room. You guys see this? You notice any recognizable skulls here? Some people on the internet have tried to identify all of them. And I don't know how much of it is just they're fucking with us, fun Easter eggs. How much of it is
I think one of them is for Independence Day, and obviously one is a dinosaur.
One's a T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
So holy shit, they had fought a T-Rex. The one in the middle, people are saying, is the Harvester from Independence Day. Anthony, you spot any other did these skulls? I
mean, just the alien. I mean, this is something I'm looking at your cheat sheet.
Yeah,
so.
somebody just kind of like guessed, like it's not.
No, I didn't spot anything other than what everyone knows. They did this with Predator 2. I don't know if you remember that, but they did a skull room. That's where the whole tease for Alien came up. I actually want to bring up one more point. Going back to Predator.
Yeah.
I am now looking at the comparison in faces.
Yeah.
And it is pretty drastic what they did. I mean,
it just doesn't look as good.
No, yeah, you're right. It looks, his face in Badlands looks a little too soft and rubbery. And doesn't look, I mean, it looks like kind of CGI, whereas the old stuff, anytime they did the old stuff, it looked great. So I don't know why they're doing that.
Well, the Predator from Prey was really off the mark too for me too, but you don't see him. He's not carrying the whole.
Yeah, he had the skull mask, and
the skull mask looked practical.
Yeah. So it's like when you can see there's a bunch of different Predator faces.
Well, they've all been different, right? Yeah, all the Predators have been different almost every movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
I think they've been doing practical up until Prey.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the ones in Alien, even the bad Alien versus Predator movies, I think those are all practical Predators. Oh, well, the one in The Predator, the big super Predator is definitely CGI.
Yeah. But then you got like a big beast that he's got to fight and some tentacles and shit. So
I just pulled up a whole bunch of different Predators.
Yeah.
From previous films, and he's easily the weakest looking one. Yeah. So it just, why would you go out there with a movie where you're going to see this face all the time and make it kind of like the least compelling looking face that you've ever done?
The only thing we can say is the movie doesn't come out till November.
Yeah.
Maybe they clean that up.
I always doubt it because when they launch the trailer, unless it's like a Sonic trailer where they change backlash is so bad that they have to like pause the movie and fix it. That's the only time I've ever seen them do that, where they change something like to the degree where it made a huge difference.
I mean, like there is something like soft and there's no details on this face, and usually it's like glistening and wet and it's tactile.
You know what it is? I'm gonna just go out and say, like, there's not enough contrast in the face. So if you look at the old Predator, like the first, the Arnold Predator, he's got a lot of deep blacks in his eyes, and around his skull that give detail and make everything pop more. And he doesn't have that. And it also has he has these great kind of bumps on the side of his head that kind of raise it up a little bit,
right?
And he does it. This guy has very subtle ones. So
because he's just a young one, he's just a teenager.
Yeah.
That's why.
I guess that's true, but I mean, I feel like it just doesn't look right.
He's not developed his horns yet. I don't know.
I
should
do
have
like
more of a
going back to it. I mean, I think the concept can be really cool. We just got to see how it's executed. But I mean, the idea of it being from the Predator point of view is
following him.
It's different.
And we're on a different planet. It's not, it's not Earth. It's some new planet.
Well, they've done different planet. Predators was on a different planet too.
Oh, right.
I always question like some of these decisions they make, but I do like this idea. I do think I want to know more about the Predator. I do. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be. Sometimes you want to know more, and then all of a sudden, like what they did with Alien Covenant, like you know too much, and now you don't want to know it anymore.
Yeah, now they've ruined it.
Right.
But I actually don't care. Like I don't care enough about the Predator to for it to be ruined for me. I mean, and if they do ruin it, we all knew it was coming. It's been ruined already.
Yeah.
By all these fucking lame ass movies that they make. So I don't know.
We'll see. November 7th. I think he's headed in the right direction here with this.
And so you're saying they're going to do another Alien crossover?
Well, the rumor is the Alien Romulus sequel has a Predator in it, and they might be. And if you have Weyland-Yutani droids in this Badlands, they're establishing a connection. They can easily connect those two universes. Speaking of Alien, there is a TV
real quick too.
Yeah.
Sorry, real quick. I remember last year at Comic-Con, I believe during the Alien Romulus panel, they had Dan Trachtenberg come on and say something. So it looks like they're boys and that they're at least building towards something. I don't another Alien vs. Predator is probably not what anyone had on their bingo card, but
yes, and the first one was not good, but with these
the first one, there's two of them.
I mean, that set, the first time they tried to do it, even though they made two of them.
Is Requiem worse or better than Alien vs. Predator?
Requiem's like one of the worst movies in the world.
Oh, Jesus. So I think
you can't even see anything in the movie.
I think it's time for another try to cross these two IPs, and under these two guys, they may actually do it right.
What if they made all of the aliens fight each other? It'd be like an Alien Kumite. Right?
Alien Bukkake?
You got Alien, you got Predator, you got fucking any other aliens.
Just
what other aliens would there be?
You got a fucking you got the Romulans, you
pull them in from Star Trek,
Chewbacca.
You did like the Mars attacks, Martians, put Ewoks in there.
The aliens, the alien from The Thing.
Yeah, put that guy in there. Put everybody. Put the all the Star Wars aliens, Star Trek aliens. Make them fight. So
put in the people from Species. Put them.
Oh yeah, she was hot when she wasn't an alien.
And those are H.R. Geiger.
Oh yeah, it's all Geiger alien. So we have Trachtenberg doing Predator. We have Fede Alvarez doing Alien, but we also have Noah Hawley doing Alien on TV. Alien Earth is coming out this summer on FX. There's no date, but they've been just putting out these weird teasers. They haven't really put out a full trailer. Just these strange teasers with little bits of detail here and there. They're kind of weird. The one I put in here, it's like a 2-minute long trailer called Gestation, and it is kind of wild. You see how a xenomorph gets conceived.
Is that a
gestated.
xenomorph?
Yeah, I mean it's some kind of xenomorph.
I thought it was some new thing. I don't know. I couldn't tell.
There's another clip that's shorter where it says this crew has found 5 different life forms, and they're trapped in these boxes, and then there's a xenomorph loose outside these crates with these 5 life forms. So it's all very mysterious, but we're gonna get Alien on TV from Noah Hawley this summer, and he's a good TV guy. I think this will be, but I don't think any of this is gonna connect with any of that other shit. He tends to just do his own thing.
Well, it's gonna be a prequel.
Oh yeah, this happens before.
It's 2 years before the events of Alien.
Okay, so it's before. Initially, they were going to set this before Prometheus and stuff, and then they moved it ahead to just before Alien. And the fact that the alien was on Earth is crazy. Nobody ever mentioned that. We've never seen a story about that. They've been here the whole time. What do you guys think of these clips? Did you watch them? They were very weird, I know.
No, I watched a gestation clip. Yeah. Is there more than one clip?
I just added this other one, which is called Crates, and it's where it has the voiceover.
No, the gestation one was very well done.
Yeah.
But at the end of the thing, you don't see what it is. You just see something like kind of get shit out of a.
Oh my God, it's the noises, and it's so moist and gooey and disturbing.
So I don't know. I can't say for sure that that's a xenomorph, but
or is it a face hugger?
I don't know if it's a face hugger, but it's definitely fucking gross. I'll tell you that.
But then at the end of this clip, they're just showing you these interiors that look a lot like the original Alien Romulus 70s. Anthony, what'd you think of this Alien stuff? Are you excited for an Alien TV show?
The teaser was very well done. I was like, whoa, this is quality for sure. The other teaser was all right too, but the gestation one was appropriately skin crawling.
Yes.
The TV show, I don't know how to feel about the TV show. I really don't know what to expect. I don't know how often we're going to see the alien.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there's probably tons of stories here. I guess I'm in the middle on it. Like I could go really either way. I don't know if Alien needs a TV show,
right?
But
if
there's an original good story, then maybe I just don't have a good read on doing an Alien TV show. I think as I've marinated on Alien Romulus, I ultimately think it was a fun movie, a well shot movie by a director that gives a fuck about it, but ultimately a little bit missed the mark because it was almost too reverential to the other old stuff that it became this movie that was just calling back to old things.
It was like a Force Awakens of Alien.
It was.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
So, I know this doesn't have much to do with that, but an Alien TV show. I guess I have a similar feeling that if you would have asked me, they're doing a Karate Kid spinoff,
right.
I kind of feel the same way, but maybe a little more pessimistic with Karate Kid and Alien. I'm just like, okay, well, we've seen stuff that's become a TV show that wasn't like no one ever thought it would be a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thoughts are all over the place on this. I don't really know what to think of it.
Well, I will tell you, Noah Hawley's pedigree is pretty good as he's done Fargo, which is people love that show. He did Legion.
That was your favorite show of all time.
That's a fucking troopy show. And it's like it's a mutant. It's an X-Men show, technically. So he has a definite style and point of view. So the fact that he's into this is going to be interesting. And it makes me think of like the Monarch show. Like that wasn't necessary. It wasn't great, but there was.
Oh God, I hope it's not the Monarch.
I hope
show.
it's better. I think it's going to be better than Monarch. But to your point, I don't know how often
anything would be better than that.
How often do you see the aliens in this latest clip with these 5 different life forms, these other aliens? Very intriguing. Very weird teasers. So, and still no date. So summertime. I don't know. Okay, you guys, since we are reviewing the season premiere of Andor season 2 later.
And who?
And which who? I thought it was only appropriate to go over a little bit of Star Wars news because they just held Star Wars Celebration, the fan event in Tokyo last week. And there's just a couple of things they released. The big thing is the Star Wars movie directed by Sean Levy, just did Daredevil and Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Ryan Gosling, who's going to be in the Star Wars universe, is called Star Wars Starfighter. It is set 5 years after the rise of Skywalker. It is said to be a standalone story of Ryan Gosling, who is a Jedi, who was training like a teenage Padawan. They are planning a 2027 release. Now, Star Wars loves to announce things and never make them. We've not had a Star Wars movie in like 6 years, and they've announced like 12 things. So, sounds great. I'll believe it when it happens. Ruggs, reaction. Ryan Gosling was in Star Wars.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like a terrible idea, but we've seen this shit before. How are you going to make it different? How are you going to give it a new flavor? So we've had a lot of Padawan training.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's a Jedi story that has nothing to do with Skywalkers, which I thought that's refreshing.
Okay, I mean, like, Look, I'll watch movies with Jedis in it. I'll watch movies with starfights in it.
Starfighter, though, the name is very reminiscent of Last Starfighter, which is a great movie.
It's just a very generic. It just seems like this whole thing, this whole pitch, the title, everything just seems very generic. Maybe they don't want to let the cat out of the bag that they got a twist or something. But
Anthony is as a forced Star Wars consumer. Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling, does that put butts in chairs for someone like you for Star Wars?
Nothing really puts over my butt in the chair for Star Wars, but I remember hearing this and went, "Oh, Ryan Gosling, Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably a good move. They need some star power. They need a good actor. Sean Levy's a pretty good director.
Yeah,
doesn't seem like a bad move. I think this is something that could reinvigorate the franchise
if it actually gets made and coming out."
Right.
And comes out.
Well, I don't think they've announced. I think to their advantage, I don't know that they've attached a name like that to a Star Wars.
No.
They've always done directors, but not an actor.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say it's impossible that won't get made still, because Blade has had Marshall.
That movie's not getting made.
And that movie's dead.
That movie's not. In fact, we reviewed Sinners. Remember, Delroy Lindo was poached from that Blade cast. And remember, at one point, Blade was supposed to be like a period piece they were talking about. I was like, it sounds a little bit like Sinners. That could have been a Blade movie. Could have been a Blade movie. So, back to my Honora joke. A lot of people have turned down roles in this movie. And I heard Mikey Madison was offered a role in this movie. And she turned him down. So, I feel like Star Wars is still a thing some people don't want to touch because of the way the fans have become. We'll get into that when we get into Andor. The movie that is coming out, hopefully next year, May 22nd, 2026, Star Wars and the Mandalorian and Grogu. Based on the show, they showed a new trailer at Celebration. It's not released yet. Sigourney Weaver's in it. Whatever, it should be fine. Grogu. It's Pedro. And then they did confirm 6 other movies are still happening. So a trilogy from Simon Kinberg still in the works. This is going to be episodes 10, 11, 12. So back in the main storyline. Taika Waititi Star Wars movie still in development. James Mangold Star Wars movie still in play. And then Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's Rey movie sequel is still happening.
How badly is that movie going to bomb?
I don't think they should do that one. I don't know if anybody wants that.
I think that the thing is, I think that there are Rey fans. There's a lot of Rey fans.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think that she's a horrible character that's beyond redemption.
Right.
But they just did her dirty. They made her a Skywalker at the end and Palpatine's daughter.
Yeah.
They just fucked it up pretty bad. But yeah, I'd be interested to see how that performs.
I mean, if it's what I heard, it's like later, she's older, and she's like a Jedi Master. Maybe that could work if you give it some time. But I don't know about that one. I don't know if any of these Star Wars make a fucking movie. What are you doing? Just make a movie. Just shut up. The
Mandalorian one is happening.
That one's happening. I think it's done shooting and it's in post production. We'll probably see a trailer, but we're still a year away from that. So yeah, but that is a spin-off of a TV show instead of a season 4. So, right. But it's a movie, so I guess it counts. Make something new. And then they also announced, Ruggs, you might like this, Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord animated show, post Clone Wars, featuring Darth Maul.
This motherfucker just doesn't die.
No, Sam Witwer returning to voice Darth Maul, who has been cut in half and put back together and given spider legs, and I don't know what else.
He has no dick.
I mean, how did Palpatine fuck to get a daughter? That keeps me up at night. How did that happen?
Who was he smashing?
Who did he smash to get Rey? Does he even have a dick? He's a fucking
Maybe he
Palpatine.
just made her in a blender.
I think so. So there's your Star Wars update. Well, more Star Wars talk to come. Let's finish up with a quick box office update because Sinners, this is wild, doing very good. It opens at number 1 again, makes a solid $45 million this weekend. That is a 6% drop.
Oh, shit.
From week to week, the smallest second week drop I've ever heard of. Probably of all time. So Right now, it's
okay.
Right now it's sitting at 123 million domestically.
Better than Titanic, you say?
I don't know. Maybe
you're just making shit up, right?
Well, that's what I saw on Twitter. People are like, smallest second week drop ever. I've never seen a 6% mine.
6% is really low. Yeah,
usually it's 60% is your average, and word of mouth must be working. The international numbers, it's only made 163 million worldwide. So internationally, I don't know why it's not doing so well.
Well, I mean, historically, though, a lot of movies that are catered towards African American audiences don't do very well.
Sure. Did Black Panther did good? No. Good? No, it didn't. No, that was mostly, you're right, domestic. Yeah. But for domestic, 123 second week off the 90 minutes, good. It's good. People are going to see it. And then what opened at number 2 was a surprise. Speaking of Star Wars, the 20th anniversary re-release of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, made $25 million domestically, $42 million globally, and it was in a little over 2,000 theaters. And actually, people at work were like, I went to see Revenge of the Sith this weekend. So it's crazy how many people were going to see this movie all excited in the theaters.
You can see Hayden Christensen's bad acting.
You were the chosen one. Why?
Don't make me kill you.
I saw it in the theater.
You did? Yeah.
This week.
Yeah. As did I.
Yeah.
You saw it twice?
No, you saw it. You went to see it
twice.
In the theater. When it came out.
I'm talking about Sinners.
Oh, you saw Sinners again.
Oh.
Yeah.
And second time, any other?
About the same.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater. I saw it actually in. There's an Alamo Draft House. In Chicago.
You did go. You went to that Alamo. How is that place? I've been wanting to go there.
I'm over the moon about that.
It looks
place.
fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool experience. I highly recommend seeing a movie at an Alamo if you have one by you. The aesthetic was cool. You walk in and they've got a bar and they got like all these old VHS and DVDs.
It's like a video store, right?
You can rent movies.
Oh, get out. That's great.
VHS or DVD, and if you don't have one, you can rent a VHS or DVD player. But then all the movie theaters, they prior to the movie starting is like 30 minutes of curated content. So instead of it being ads, like for example, for Sinners, they did like the history of like black horror movies prior, and then they did a clip of Michael B. Jordan and Saturday Night Live, and then they did a clip of Ryan Coogler where he recorded something for the like a PSA for the Alamo crowd.
That's awesome.
So they did that, and then when the movie starts, are you guys familiar with Alamo?
A little bit. I know it's the place where if you even look at your phone, they'll toss you right the fuck out. And
yeah, that's one of the things is that there's no talking or texting.
Yeah.
And if you do talk or text, you risk getting kicked out. Yeah. You have to be in your seat by the time the movie starts. There's only like maybe 3 trailers before the movie.
Okay.
They won't let you in.
Okay.
No kids under the age of 2 for showings. Nice. And if you're under the age of 16, you need a parent with you. The other thing is you can order food and beverages at your seat. So like we had like a pizza and popcorn and glasses of wine. No, I didn't drink having glasses of wine, but I saw it with my lady friend that I'm dating. So it was a good time.
Nice. They have
a little expensive though.
It is. I mean, it's independent. Wow, they have a whole bunch of locations.
It's not independent anymore.
Now, did you both see it twice?
No, I saw it once, and then I've said I want to see it again. I made her go with me, but I was like, if I'm going to see it again, I'm going to do it up and see it in a movie theater experience, like something I haven't done before. So that's why I was like, let's go to Alamo.
Yeah, no, I just love their dedication to like their keeping the movie experience cool.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
we have an Alamo in the area, but it's just a hike to get to. So
yeah, I mean ours isn't that close for me either. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I mean I'm so hyped about it that I'm seeing Thunderbolts there next week.
There's 20,
but they'll show like old movies too
across the country.
They're showing the Star Wars stuff, but they'll have like Terror Tuesdays and like Wednesday, like they're showing Jaws at some point.
Yeah, they show like classic movies and theme
and then
nights.
They'll do like movie parties where if it's for example for Jaws, you'll like go in and you'll have like gifts and like people will be dressed up. So it's like a movie theater for movie fans,
for movie junkies. Yeah, it sounds great. I gotta go.
Yeah, I would recommend
definitely
going.
All right, cool. We'll take a break here, fellas. We're gonna play some promos.
Play them,
and then we're gonna come back and talk about Andor.
Andor
season 2 right after this.
Andor.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Hey there, everyone. Brian here, host of TV Trivia Pod. It's a trivia-style podcast focusing on TV and movies. Listen in for questions like, what's the name of Michael Scott's screenplay? What do you say to view the Marauders map? And what's everyone eating in the post-credit scene of Avengers? Play along to TV Trivia Pod anywhere you get podcasts. And stay tuned for more trivia.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, this is a great time to join our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And you can help support the show. You can give back on a monthly or annual basis. Keeps the show running. We appreciate all our Patreons' continued support. But you get stuff like access to an exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. There's bonus content, instant reactions. Ruggs has been lighting it up this past 2 weeks. We didn't talk about it last week, but you sent in a bunch of stuff we will get to at the end of this show. I want to talk about some of it, but there's lots of bonus reviews.
That's because he's a Patreon whore.
I'm trying to give you guys on the Patrons something to fucking get for your money.
Make it worth the support. You can also join us for our monthly Discord hangouts. Those are fun. The next one will be Thursday, May 15th. Put it in your calendar. Write it down now. And there's other fun things. And you have our immense thanks and gratitude for signing up to our Patreon fan club. Do it today. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. All right, let's get to this week's review. We have the premiere of the Prestige Star Wars. It actually exists. It's called Andor. Sorry, it's called Andor. Andor Season 2 premiere. We will be discussing. Here's your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Of course, this is a show created by Tony Gilroy, who gave us Rogue One, the story of Cassian Andor and the Rebellion, and has now given us a prequel to his prequel in the form of this show, Andor. Interesting release schedule for Season 2. Andor will be coming out 3 episodes a week, and each week it will jump ahead a year. So you have like a 3-episode, let's call them a chapter, 4 chapters that all jump ahead 1 year until we get up to Rogue One. Make sense?
Yeah.
And this is a very highly rated show on the Rotten Tomatoes. It's 96% tomato meter currently. And we've said the first season. Anthony, what'd you think of the first season? We called it probably the finest, best thing Star Wars has put out.
Yeah, by far. I thought it was the best thing Star Wars has ever put out. The most serious they've ever treated their stuff. I enjoyed Mandalorian season 1 and 2, but I felt like this was definitely another level.
This is a sci-fi show that even if you take out Star Wars, it's still an impressive sci-fi show. So, Anthony, let's do this. 3 episodes. There's kind of 3-4 storylines happening. Why don't you give us a quick recap, if you can remember, in your own layman, casual Star Wars fan terms?
Oh.
What happens in this first chapter that starts 1 year after season 1?
Man, you're asking a lot here. I will start off by saying, and I apologize to the listeners and to you guys, I watched the 3 episodes. I watched them. That doesn't mean I actually paid attention.
You looked at them.
I was looking at the screen and listening at some points throughout the 3 hours that I was forced to sit. Not to say that it was bad. It's just
that's
I
fine.
forgot a lot of what had happened, and it's hard for me to get back into Star Wars when I'm not a fan.
And they didn't do a recap. A lot of the shows...
They didn't do a recap.
Yes.
They didn't do a recap, and I was already... It was Sunday afternoon, and I said, fuck, I got to watch this. And they didn't do the recap, and I said, I could pause this and watch a recap on YouTube, but then I know myself.
Yeah.
If I watch a recap on YouTube, I'm going to dive into 7 other videos.
You're never
on YouTube
getting back to it.
about people getting shot or someone falling out of a car.
Yeah.
Like the algorithm's going to get me, and I'll never watch this goddamn show.
Well, this is something Disney doesn't do, and they should, because every other streamer, your Max, your Netflix, they do it properly. When you start a new season, they give you like a 3-minute recap. It's very helpful, but they don't fucking do it. They just dive right in. So I don't blame you. So from what you observed, what was going on?
1 year later, Cassian is in Andor, and he steals a TIE fighter.
Yes.
I think it's like a prototype, maybe. I don't know. New weapon for them, and he steals it. He's gonna drop it off, and he gets stuck on a planet with a group of warring rebels that the rebellion hasn't really organized yet. So there's a group of rebels there, so he's stuck with them as they like fight with each other. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Bix and the guy with the beard,
Brasso.
Yeah, they're stowed on some planet.
Yeah,
farming.
Yep,
but they're there illegally. And the rebellion, or the not the rebellion,
the Empire.
The Empire is coming to check people's visas, and one of the dudes is creepy and wants to have sex with Bix.
Yeah,
right? There's that.
Yep.
Then there's this secret meeting of the Empire where they want to figure out, they need this mineral off this planet.
Yeah, Gorman,
and they need to figure out a way to get the people off of the planet. And then they might kill them or something. Then they have the lady there from the first season and the dude that was basically like an office guy that found out some shit. And they're dating.
Yeah, Deidre and Cyril. Yes.
Right. And then Cyril is, who's the boy? Cyril?
Yeah. Cyril is the man.
Cyril's mom is weird, and Deidre's like, you ain't talking like that.
She's
anymore.
great.
Like,
that was a great scene. Yeah.
Okay. So there's that.
Yeah.
Then there's this wedding.
There's a wedding
between Mon Mothma and some other dude. A prearranged marriage. So they're building up to this. But what's his name's there?
Luthen.
Luthen's there.
Yeah, they're all there.
They're all there. And they are this one was the most confusing and the boringest one to me, so I don't really know what was going on. But they were I think they were trying to figure out how to fund stuff and where the money was going. And then one of the guys that has the money doesn't have money. I don't know. That one I don't really know what's going on.
That one was basically the marriage was an agreement so that the guy would hide the funds she's been using to fund the rebellion. But then he starts saying shit like, I don't feel so safe anymore. I don't know if this is worth it. Kind of wanting to extort more money. And then at some point, Luthen tells Mon Mothma, like, you got to take care of him. And I don't know if he implied she's got to take him out, because she's like, what are you saying? But that's essentially the whole wedding thing.
And then they have a rave at the end.
Then there's a banger rave. This is what I wanted to know. What did you think of the Star Wars EDM music? I thought it was pretty good. I was like, this is a good song.
It was a little weird. I didn't think they would be playing that kind of music.
That Star Wars has EDM in Star Wars.
I mean, if you go into the Return of the Jedi, they're playing like flapper music.
Right,
in
they have like 20s and funk, right? But
was that all the storylines? Did I get that?
No. Yeah,
I think you got them
that's
all.
pretty good. Yes,
okay.
There's the cat. Yes, there's the Andor storyline. There's the farm planet storyline. There's the wedding, and then there's the Empire. That is all great. Now, I don't know if I was watching Star Wars or CNN, because we have like they're arresting undocumented illegals. They're fracking a planet. I was like, holy shit. There's a lot of topical shit.
They're making an enemy out of a people. Or
yes,
like they're kind of,
yes, they're oppressing. There's rape, sexual assault, wild shit. What'd you think then, Anthony? Of this, just overall the first three?
Oh, it's it's Star Wars. So at the end of the day, I'm never going to be over the moon about Star Wars, but I thought it was really well shot. I like that they're doing multiple storylines, even though I don't really know what's going on and I can't figure out whose name is what at times.
Yeah.
But I think they treat it like as like an elevated show.
Yeah.
And I thought the scenes that caught my eye the most were the implied scene where the guy from the Empire wants to sexually assault Bix.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
he's throwing her around, and she hits him with a pipe, and he's bleeding from the head. Like, I went, oh, this doesn't feel like Star Wars.
No.
I think the most riveting thing for me, just because it's the only name I can remember, is the Cassian stuff.
Yeah.
And figuring out how he was going to get out of that situation. I was getting a little bit lost, candidly, because one, I wasn't paying attention, but two, I didn't know how this, like, where this all ties and like what they're doing. I didn't really understand like what. I know where it ends, but I didn't know where this part of the story, what they were doing.
So the last time that we saw Cassian Andor, he had escaped from the prison,
right?
And then Luthen basically has been trying to recruit this motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
now he's in.
And so at first he turns him down, and then he ends up in prison. And when he gets out of prison, Luthen's like, "All right, will you start working for me?" So this is maybe his like first big mission, I guess, a year later.
Yeah, he's undercover playing a test pilot, to steal the TIE fighter.
Yeah, so he's trying to steal this thing and trade it off of somebody, and then he's not there, and so he's kind of like, now he's fucked. And he gets the ship back, and he goes to Bix, and now Bix is dealing with the Empire. So that's like kind of like, it's not a really like intense story. Like, we had a prison break, we had all kinds of like shady stuff. They had to do a heist to get the money in the first one.
Yeah,
there's a lot less compelling stuff. I mean, the highlight was the prison break last season. For me, the highlight was Cyril's mom getting shut down.
Oh my God, that was such
for me
a
was
great
like,
scene.
I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up, old lady.
Because the mom is so...
and Cyril being all sad on the bed, that was funny.
The mom is so like, she knows how to insult on the down low and so patronizing and condescending. I love the pop of color. She had the orange. Everybody is gray.
And she's like spilling shit all over the place and just being like just an asshole.
And then when he leaves, and he's such a mama's boy, right? And then when he leaves, she goes, let me tell you what's going to happen. She's like, you're going to shut the fuck up. And I love, she goes, you will experience Cyril conversely proportional to the anxiety you add to our lives. That's the deal. So good. Wonderfully patronizing. And we learned.
I don't know if she realizes who she's fucking with. That lady's not, you don't want to fuck with.
Yeah.
She's like Darth Vader, like,
oh, yeah.
You know, in spirit.
So she wasn't really in on the plan with, or she just kind of second guessing what the Empire's doing.
Well, she wanted to keep searching for Andor, right? And they just put her on this. He's like, you're going on this Gorman thing. So she's got to, she's working her way up the ranks. So she's reluctantly's got to be part of that council.
Yeah, she's very talented, so they're going to want her to be part of it. But I think she's got qualms with it. I don't think she really is down for it, but she's going to do it anyway because she's sold her soul to the Empire.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the redemption story? Is she going to be the one?
Is she going to turn? I don't know. We learned that she really didn't have a family and she was raised like by the Empire or whatever. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, the Gorman thing is like, we're going to destroy this planet. So we need to spin this somehow. Now, Jose Ibarra posted an article from Forbes that was very helpful because the critics have seen all 12 episodes and they were all gushing about all 12 episodes. But this article says a brief warning for Andor Season 2's first 3 episodes. This guy says the first 3 episodes are easily the slowest and least exciting of the bunch. And yes, I did feel like it had this weird leisurely pace, right? Like, who are these rebels? Are we going to meet them
this
again?
Wedding we don't need to know a lot about this wedding.
There was a whole wedding. Andor's tied up for like an episode and a half of these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Right? But I loved the beginning of the first episode where, they're talking about the cost of rebellion and that girl who works there, and then how he couldn't fucking fly the plane, and how when you get shot on the show, like all the other Star Wars shows, it got me thinking, whenever those stormtroopers get hit, do they die or are they just like knocked out? This one, you see blood and people get killed with these fucking weapons. There's like a Gatling gun on TIE Fighter, which was very like real world weapon.
It makes it more badass.
Yes, like the deaths mean more and the violence means more. Ruggs, let me ask you this. The big discussion on the internet amongst the Star Wars fandom, we know how great they are, is the scene of the sexual assault with that officer and Bix. And the argument of, does rape belong in Star Wars?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a question that people are asking?
Yes. This is what people, it's
It
like
depends.
a heated discussion debate.
This is a Star Wars for people who don't like Star Wars. This is a Star Wars that is like for people who find regular Star Wars too silly.
Right.
This is a Star Wars that's taking it a little bit more seriously. And things like that happen in the real world.
Yeah.
Now, why are you okay with an entire planet being vaporized?
Right.
The Death Star like literally blows away entire planets worth of
Anakin
people.
killed children.
But God forbid, Anakin kills children. But God forbid a woman has been happening in war since the beginning of time. Right?
It makes
I think that's because it's too personal when they see you can see the woman.
Right.
Whereas the planet is like, oh, I don't see those people.
Well, right. It just explodes and you don't even think about it.
Right.
Okay, but if it happens off screen, is it okay?
So, I mean, I think
I'm with you. I think Star Wars, you can mold Star Wars in anything.
If this was rated PG-13 and directed towards kids,
right,
but it's clearly not. It's clearly directed. It's not at adults. It's
this is a mature adult show.
No, like 12-year-old kid's gonna watch all of this political bullshit unless they're a super nerd.
Yeah.
Like unless they're a completist and they have to watch it.
So, but it goes back to, did George Lucas intend Star Wars to be an idealized version of society or a reflection of society?
I think that he was just trying to make an adventure with themes of things that he loved that he connected with.
Sure.
And he tried to kind of bring a little bit of a Messiah thing, a little bit about, Buddhism and the balance of the Force and all that stuff. And kind of in a nice little bow. Like it's a children's adventure. But all these people that have grown up now that are now 50 years old or 60 years old, maybe they have they're kind of like maybe they still love the kind of the fun stuff, the kid stuff, but this is also for them too. Now, these are the same people that are shitting on it, that are like, oh, does this belong in Star Wars? When they're fine when they change Star Wars to benefit them.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it's going to be so great for the wider market now. We're going to expand the market. But as soon as you do something for the old fans, the old men who fucking supported Star Wars their whole lives and now just want to sit there and go, hey, what would Star Wars be like if they took it seriously?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, it makes it
real.
real.
It's just like so selective.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I thought it was interesting to
hypocrisy.
Yes.
Let me chime in as the non-Star Wars fan. I think Star Wars clearly has skewed more young, right?
Yeah.
That was one of my main critiques of Star Wars. Like, this stuff is for fucking kids. It's silly.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it's really silly. I think you can tell, though, a bunch of different stories utilizing the Star Wars lore. And I think, at least for me, while I'm not an avid fan of Andor, going this route, I think does bring in new fans.
Yeah.
And bring in people that wouldn't normally watch Star Wars and go, wait, this is being treated like prestige TV and it's getting all these accolades from different news outlets, maybe even news outlets that don't always cover Star Wars. So I think doing it like this just only helps the brand, especially if it's good. Like, it would be one thing if they were treating it very seriously like this and it wasn't any good, then obviously that sucks. But I think you got to experiment a little with this shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is a serious sci-fi show, and where the prestigeness and the second season's got a big buzz because of how good the first season was.
This is not a show for everyone. This is an experiment. It's not a show for everyone.
Yeah,
I don't think it ruins the canon.
No,
by just changing the view of the reality. Right. Yeah. All they're doing is they're not handling, like when you watch Godzilla and he's stomping in buildings and you don't see people dying.
Yeah, but all those people are dead.
You assume though that there's got to be at least thousands of people getting trampled and
they evacuated everybody. It's fine.
So then they had that one throwaway line where the whole city's clear.
Everyone's clear. It's good. Let them smash it up.
They're not doing that here. Yeah. They're actually going, no, like if this shit's gonna happen, you're gonna fire a laser at someone.
Yeah,
it's going to fucking do damage.
Yeah, it's gonna rip him in half.
Right?
And if
a bunch of Nazis show up,
you're gonna
and
fight
they see a hot girl.
Yes,
one of them is going to try and get something that he shouldn't be getting.
It makes it real, and this officer is so creepy, and he looks like Mike Myers, makes him even creepier. Did he look like Mike Myers to you? Austin Powers, Mike Myers?
Maybe a little bit.
He reminded me of. But if this guy, and they're coming in looking for illegals, this guy has power. He's going to abuse it.
This is obviously a reflection of war and imperialism in our own world. Which I don't know if Star Wars should be that either, but at least it's done well. Like, at least it's done with seriousness, and it's done well, and it's well acted and well directed, and there's no I will kill you, like Hayden Christensen lines. And like just the bad, like even the Acolyte acting, like that was terrible.
Yes.
Amanda Stenberg, like with zero range of emotion. So, all right. So maybe it's not what Lucas thought of, envisioned, but neither was all the new Star Wars either.
Right.
So we're all at a fucking loss here.
Yeah, but this is at least exciting and pushing it forward. Like, despite the leisurely pace, it's just the show looks really good. The sets, the costumes are really good.
I'll give the show this credit. It doesn't treat you like you're stupid.
Right.
It doesn't beat you over the head with exposition. Like, for me, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I wasn't fully engaged. I was lost.
Yeah.
It didn't say, hey, we'll give you a pick-me-up and do a whole exposition scene. It said, either you're going to keep up with this, or you're just going to be stupid and you're going to get left behind.
We'll figure it out later.
I appreciate that it doesn't
spoon
stop and spoon feed it.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no spoon feeding. Rugs, what'd you think of those rebels? They were kind of funny, but I didn't understand. Is it just to show that the rebellion is in this much disarray? I just thought it was funny where the guy's like, you got 15 guns on you. And the other guy yells, don't tell him that. What are you doing?
It reminded me of like Lord of the Flies.
It did. They just fucking fighting.
And then they're doing fucking some kind of rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, yeah. They play a weird Star Wars.
There you go. You want something silly? There you go.
You got it. You got it.
And then it's like with snake hands and a whole gesture. And it was just, I was like, what is this game? What are the rules here? And then there's
I found that to be a little bit stupid, but yeah.
Will we see them again? Like, why do we even meet these people?
Hopefully they're all died of starvation.
Because this whole chapter takes place within like 2 days, and then it's going to jump ahead a year to BBY 3. This is BBY 4. But yeah, they didn't have any food, and he does make it to the ship. The shots of wherever the Empire is, that like skyline in their apartment. I love the aesthetics here too. It's just, I've never seen like this lived in city in a Star Wars where,
they're cooking.
They're cooking. There's a sink. It's like a regular apartment. It's very strange, but I like it. I love the geometric cubicles. I kind of wanted to work in one of those. I want to work there. And then just that big room of cubicles all lined up with lights on them. It's very cool. How do I get a job there?
I don't know, Imran.
And then, let me apply. And then the wedding.
Anytime someone responds and says your name, you're like, okay, I got to move on. I don't know, Rod.
Moving on then. What else? The wedding shit was whatever.
Too long.
Yeah.
That's my main. That wedding stuff. It was so fucking long and boring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. The wedding scene. The wedding.
Well, that's
stuff
the thing. That's a double-edged sword with Star Wars. So if you're going to have a show that's this adult, you got to have more adult shit in it. Yeah. Unfortunately, because like there could have been a little bit more scandalous shit going on, and then it would have kept your interest. But since it's kind of like confined to like, even though there was an attempted rape happening, it didn't happen. It just was so. They can't go there. They could only maybe go so far. So if like the wedding, there couldn't have been some weird fucking like White Lotus type shit going on.
Right?
There.
You almost could have done some White Lotus shit in this.
Yeah. But anyway, or Game of Thrones or whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, there's a little bit of just like maneuvering and alliances and people, right? All during this wedding. I did love at the end how Mon Mothma is just like trying to dance her troubles away. In fact, Star Wars, they put out a video of Mon Mothma, that scene. It's like an hour long of her dancing.
How old do you think Mon Mothma is?
How old?
Yes.
Like the character?
Or the woman?
She's got to be in her, I'd say, late 40s.
Yeah, mid to late 40s.
You'd be correct.
Yeah. Mid to late 40s.
I feel like that she has so much dignity in her the way she carries herself.
She does. She does seem like a politician.
Yeah. Yeah, but the whole thing with her daughter and he didn't hold my hand and all that, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Well, the daughter rejects her, right?
Yeah.
She talks about getting away, but she says her aunt or her grandma or her mom suggests that when she was drunk, and the daughter goes, well, I wish you were drunk right now. As in, like, why would you ever suggest that? I wish you were inebriated so I could at least
get the fuck out of here.
No, like at least I could say no. It wasn't. That's not how I took it. It's like at least I could be like, well, she's drunk. She didn't mean what she says, but she's sober and she said this to me.
Yeah, but they get married, anywho, and do a little dance, and there's a Shandy Merle given, which is that statue. But yeah, really, that's really about it. Not much else happens in this first chapter, so I guess it's just them setting pieces for where
it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I hope the rest of it.
I don't think that the quality of it is dropped.
No.
I think the quality's still there. I just think that the story, whatever we're going through, this setup here, was kind of a grind to get through.
I think we're just like at the beginning of Last of Us we're catching up with these characters, but now it's going to move ahead a year and things are going to change in between. So I feel like it will build and build until that last chapter. Until Andor, Mikey Madison shows up as space prostitute. And she had the death plans.
That's right.
The plans to the Death Star. All right. Anything else about
No.
Yeah. It's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I was going to take a little bit of a back seat on this one because I didn't give it my all.
Yeah. No, but really that's about you mentioned all the big points and that's really about all.
So now we're doing a year time jump?
Yes. Now it's going to be BB3 before the Battle of Yavin, which is what happens in the first Star Wars movie.
What did you just say? I have no idea.
BBY4. This is how they tell time in Star Wars.
It's Big Butt Yoda.
Big Butt Yoda 4 years before Big Butt Yoda shows up.
Wait, what?
No. Before the Battle of Yavin. It's like BC.
Who's Yavin?
Yavin is it happens in the first Star Wars movie.
The Battle of Yavin.
That's like zero.
Wasn't that planet Yavin?
I think it was the forest planet where he lands, right?
I believe it is Yavin.
Yes, I think that's.
I saw that online,
Yes.
and someone said that's important.
Yes, that's where the battle happens.
What bad? I thought they were battling in space.
No,
in Star Wars 1. Or in New Hope.
Isn't there a ground battle also?
I don't remember. I just remember Luke being in
there's a ground battle.
Luke being in his ship and they're fighting
the Battle of Yavin is when the Death Star gets destroyed.
Yeah, that whole battle is called the Battle of Yavin.
Is that in part 1? Or sorry,
Yes.
part
that's when Luke fucking uses the Force and he launches the missile and it hits the fucking Death Star and it's secret exhaust where the fucking thing blows it up from the inside.
Why would they put that there? No, but that's like 0 years. So you tell the time by before the Battle of Yavin or after the Battle of Yavin. That's kind of how it works. Like, BC.
That's why BBY.
Big Butt Yoda. So yeah, now we just got a few days in this year and that's going to jump ahead a year. And I don't know, more shit's going to hit the fan. So it was slow, but
when you keep saying BBY, that's like abbreviation for baby.
It is kids, in text parlance.
With kids, yeah. So when you guys kept saying that, like, what BBY?
It's in
what
year.
Are you guys talking about
eggplant 4?
BBW.
The year of our eggplant.
BBW.
BBW 12. Anywho, I'm going to force you to watch the rest of this, Anthony, because we will talk about this in 4 weeks when it's over. We'll discuss
BBC.
There's BBC.
You're going to force me to watch this bullshit.
Yeah, because I think it's going to get really good, and I want to talk about it.
How many weeks is this?
So 3 more weeks, and every week there'll be 3 episodes, a chapter, 3 episodes, 3 hours a week. It's not 3 hours. It's like 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Okay.
It's a little movie a week of Star Wars.
Anthony's going to murder you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally force you, but I do believe this is the best shit Star Wars has made. So it deserves watching, and maybe you'll pay more attention in the next chapter. I don't know, whatever. It's fine.
Well, I do remember from last season there were some chapters that I felt more engaged in than others.
Yes. And from what I heard, from what I see in these reviews, like it doesn't quite have something like that prison break in the first season, but it's really good.
How many episodes was the first season?
That was also 12, and that was broken up into. They did a weekly,
and I thought it was 4 chunks.
It was still broken up into 4 like storyline chunks out of the 12. Right.
Gotcha.
But then that was a weekly release. This is just they want to get it out and done because stuff's coming out. I don't know why. But I don't mind it actually because then it'll be over in like 4 weeks.
Yep. All right.
And everybody's talking about it. It's prestige. Listen, we're living well if you think about prestige vampires in the big screen, prestige video game adaptation, Last of Us, prestige Star Wars. Would you consider Daredevil? Did that come close to prestige Marvel? Maybe
Disney?
Yeah.
No.
The
Netflix stuff I would say was up there.
Netflix, yeah. So look, DC has managed to give us prestige Penguin, and even like Peacemaker, I will say, was good. Has Marvel given us anything you could call Disney MCU prestige TV yet?
No.
They haven't, right? Isn't that crazy?
No.
No. I mean, WandaVision is the closest thing they get.
Yeah.
I mean, Loki was really good, but when I think prestige, there's a look and a feel to it.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, Loki's actually really, really good.
That's true. The sets were great.
The look and the feel isn't prestige, in my opinion.
It feels like a TV show. It doesn't feel cinematic.
Yeah. I wonder if they will ever get to that level.
Hey, you can only hope.
I mean, the fucking DC pulls it off with the Penguin.
I think HBO just pulls it off all the time.
HBO does pull it off all the time. Yes.
I think it's the HBO.
Yeah,
piece.
that's true. All those things were on HBO. So, and that's Warner Brothers. So you're never going to have, but Disney, Marvel needs to kind of, again, when we were watching Penguin, I was like, I hope they're paying attention. That you need to give us a prestige show like
But this is the best thing to come out of Disney.
Star
for
Wars,
sure.
Yeah.
So I threw in what is considered prestige TV on Google.
Yeah.
Prestige TV refers to television shows that are considered to be high quality, artistic merit, often with serious themes, complex storylines, and high production values. It's a term that emerged with the rise of award-winning series on channels like HBO.
Yeah.
Characteristics of prestige include high production quality, serious and complex themes, complex storylines, artistic and intellectual appeal, breaking barriers. Examples of prestige TV include Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, True Detective, The Wire, Mad Men, Veep, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
it would seem
I would say like when you're thinking about prestige TV, I would say Penguin probably gets close to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't consider Peacekeeper.
Not Peacemaker.
Okay. No, or Peacemaker, excuse me. Peacemaker's good, but it's also like
it's a comedy.
It's end of the day, it's still a show about like buttholes and shit.
Sure.
I mean, not really buttholes, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes. So I think in those criteria, the thing that's holding back Marvel Disney is like to have the balls to actually make something edgy where it's pushing the artistic merit. That's what's missing.
I mean, you don't have to get into like super mature themes for it to be prestige.
Sure.
I just feel like you have to take it seriously, and all the performances have to work, and the writing has to be solid. And I think that that'll get you there.
All the prestige TV though is very mature. It's always very mature adult content
for the most part.
Yeah. I think with Daredevil, they came close with the swearing and the violence, but does not make it prestige.
The writing is what destroys it. The writing is very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, good start on the Andor. We'll be back in a few weeks to discuss season 2 in its completion. Let's finish with some what are we watching, because we didn't do this last week, and Ruggs watched a lot of things. I watched a lot of things, but Anthony, we'll start with you.
I watched one thing.
Last of Us?
Well, I did watch Last of Us. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay, what's the one thing you watched?
But I did also, so I guess I watched two things.
Okay, two things.
I lied.
All right.
So I watched, and I told you, Anthony Polanski is here.
Yes.
So I watched Nickel Boys.
Oh, okay.
Which was nominated for Best Picture and a Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
It's on MGM Plus on Amazon Prime. So if you start a 7-day free trial, you can watch that movie.
Oh, okay.
Nickel Boys, you guys know what that's about?
No, what is it about?
It's about these two African-American, these two African-American kids in the 1960s that get stuck at an abusive Florida reform school.
Oh.
The big thing here, without spoiling it, is the film is completely told in a first-person POV.
Oh.
So you basically are the main, any character that is the focus of the story, you are that person.
Oh, it's all first-person POV shots. Interesting.
And it's also not told linearly. So there's a little bit of like, you really got to pay attention to what's going on.
So are you always the same person, or are you different characters in the POV?
So part of the movie, a lot of the movie, you're one person, and then you move over to another person.
Oh, shit. That could be disorienting, or could be cool. Oh, I did not know about the first-person POV bit. That is very interesting.
Yeah, it's very artsy-fartsy, for sure.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I thought it was all right. I respected the craft and the swing.
Yeah.
I think it's a first-time director.
Yeah.
Me, personally, I would have preferred the movie not shot that way, because I felt like maybe because my brain is obviously not wired to watch movies in first person.
Yeah.
But it felt almost video game cutscene.
Right.
And also it felt I couldn't truly connect to the story because I was confused a lot of time of who was speaking and what was going on. So, and because it's also not told, it's not like told linear, like things happen and then it'll like jump to another part in time. And like, it's a really like mentally exhausting.
Wow.
Very, it's not a very happy story either.
Yeah.
I thought it was, worth watching if if you want to see some sort of a different kind of film, but I didn't fully connect with it.
This trailer is so interesting because everyone is just addressing the camra directly.
Yeah, you just you're that person.
It's so crazy. Wow. Yeah. So they tried to do that with what was that movie, Ruggs? The first person shooter.
Oh, Hardcore Henry. That's a great movie.
Hardcore Henry. It was.
You gotta watch that. It's great.
Very exhausting though to watch.
Yeah, but I like the way it ends.
Like that.
It's pretty cool.
It can be exhausting, but that's cool. I might have to check this out because I didn't know that's what they were doing.
Yeah, it was not a waste of time. Just
it was
not my cup of tea, but
it's the best picture.
Still good. Still a very artfully done movie.
Written and directed by Ramel Ross.
Correct.
So, all right. Okay, Last of Us episode 3. Everybody caught up?
Yep.
I watched it. Yes.
Anthony, what'd you think of this kind of morning episode? I mean, I had a feeling this episode, spoiler alert, was going to have to slow it down a bit, because the last episode's fucking crazy, intense, balls to the wall, crazy things happen. This one, they're mourning Joel a little bit, nice touches, and then Ellie and Dita make a crazy decision. Real quick.
Yeah, I'll start by saying I like the episode. It obviously is a bit of a come down since that last episode. Time has elapsed. I like the episode. Yeah. I think the most hard hitting parts were the religious group that gets slaughtered.
Oh yeah,
this girl.
This is new people we never met. Some weird
wondering
group.
What happened there. I don't think that's. I haven't played the second game. Yeah. I'm familiar with the overarching storyline of the second game, but I don't know all the nuances. So this is not a spoiler because I don't know. I think there's another group of people that are very brutal. That isn't what's that lady? The girl that killed Abby. I don't think that's Abby's group.
Yeah, they said wolves, so maybe there's another faction of these WLF people who are
maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what happened there, but I thought that was pretty brutal.
Did you notice the scar? Everybody had a scar on their cheek, like a
they're all doing their best Heath Ledger.
Yes, that's what this religion is, I guess. Are your face?
But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Obviously, a lot slower. I liked, or I didn't like the people getting slaughtered, but I like where that's going. I really enjoy is looking at Isabella Merced and her acting. I like the pairing.
Yeah,
Dina and
Ellie.
My main criticism is it felt like they got from Jackson, Wyoming to Seattle in 5 minutes.
Pretty quick. And yeah, it was like 10 minutes and they were in fucking Seattle. Like, where were they? I thought this was a lot farther.
They were in Wyoming, Jackson, Wyoming, which is about 1,000 miles away. I thought that was going to be a whole like thing, that whole trek there and like running into shit, but
she shows
not.
It would take them at least like 4 or 5 days to get there.
Yeah.
She shows you the map is a long journey, but it was cool seeing Seattle briefly. I'm excited to see what the rest of Seattle looks like.
So yeah, I'm it's a connecting episode, and I'm interested to see Ellie and Dina track down these people one by one.
Ruggs, what'd you think? Ellie and Dina on their own, didn't tell anyone, not listening. They had a vote and they said no, and you knew she wasn't going to listen.
I think it's good. It's hard for me to imagine this show without Joel.
I know, it's like losing Rick on Walking Dead or something, right? Like,
yeah,
this is the guy we were invested in.
So
they took him out of the credits too. Like, you see 2 people walking, and now you just see Ellie walk.
Yeah, so it's kind of like going to be an adjustment for me, but I do like the energy that Isabella Merced brings. So you got this really dour, somber like group of people. Like, even Joel was a sad sack most of the time, not fun at all. So she's got like a little bit of a bounciness to her. She's kind of like a different energy. And I mean, hopefully she's badass too. And that'll help. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. So I like seeing them. I think that they did something risky. They're going to Seattle. It didn't seem like it was a very hard trip for them, which I wish it was a little bit more harrowing of a journey, but I think they just want to get them there so we could make the story happen. Yeah.
Yeah. It was 3 months had gone by and then they leave. And, where is this going to go? They're going to, I want to see, Jeffrey Wright is in the show. And so I guess we're going to see his character in the next episode.
I'm excited to see what happens.
No, it's still fucking good. Do you guys watch the stuff in the after show and the look ahead? There's like tanks and shit.
I never want to get spoiled.
I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't catch the whole preview for the next episode.
Yeah, I like the HBO post show.
I don't like to spur on myself.
No, but then they give you information on the episode you just watched, like little details and the characters talking about it. Now it needed a little slowdown episode, and now it's like this is the story: is this conflict between Ellie, Dina finding Abby, and will they talk? She's just gonna come out, fucking try to kill her. We'll see what. Oh, and I also like the turn of the bigot guy.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Right? Who called them dykes in the first episode, and now he's on their side. He's like, oh,
so she doesn't know if she's the cure at all still yet.
I'm not sure. I think she does know. I feel like Joel told her everything before. And that's why she was. But does she know that she's the cure? Because they kind of allude to that a little bit. And then Dina's asking her if she's a good
How did
kisser.
Abby not know that she was Ellie? I don't know. I mean, if Abby was there when her dad got killed, she would obviously know who Ellie is. She's the most important person.
Right.
Everybody, the Fireflies.
Everybody was waiting for her.
So how did she not do anything? I don't know. I find that to be very strange.
She should know that Ellie's the cure. You're right about that.
So it didn't sit well with me. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, good show. Ruggs, what else are you watching? Just spit out.
I watched
something.
a bunch of stuff, but we split it up.
Ones.
If you haven't watched Mobland, it's fucking great. If you haven't watched The Gentleman on Netflix, it's fucking great. They're both Guy Ritchie shows, and they're both really good. And I fucking love The Gentleman. It's so fun, and it's just a good mobster show. And Mobland also good mobster show. with
Tom Hardy. Yeah,
Tom Hardy in the lead, being a badass.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren.
Yeah, Helen Mirren.
What a cast.
It's great. He's just, he gets the job done. And the gentleman just kind of like that same kind of energy, but with like a more kind of whimsical, fun element to it. Almost like a Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels type energy. I watched White Lotus season 2 and a little bit of 3.
I watched all of White Lotus. I'm caught up. And I watched the first episode of The Gentleman that has Theo James, who is in the second season of White Lotus. It's fun to see him. White Lotus is a fun show.
Yeah.
Season 3 was good.
So that's interesting. I found that the season 3 to be boring, the first few episodes to be boring.
I like the second season a little bit better. I like the end of the second season a lot better than the end of season 3.
So another thing with speaking of Tom Hardy and whatever, Havoc on Netflix, I watched that.
Anthony, we both watched Havoc.
You did?
Yes, the Gareth Edwards.
I heard it's a little disappointing.
It was a little whack to me. It was. There were good action moments in it.
Yes.
But I don't think it coalesces into a film of the Raid's caliber, or even the Raid 2's caliber.
That's disappointing.
I thought it was just okay. Yes, you have his Gareth Edwards fun camera dancing in these fight scenes, moving around kind of like a stunt guy. You have the thing in his movies where you have to shoot a motherfucker like 25 times to make sure they're dead. Unlike your John Wick's clean one shot dead. These people get fucking drilled. So there's a lot of dynamic action. And he wrote and directed this, and I don't understand why he wrote this story so fucking convoluted. It is so unnecessarily.
I feel like there's a lot of it missing. I think he probably didn't make a 3-hour movie like he made the last Braid movie.
There's too many things happening in this movie. He could have removed a lot of it.
And nothing was interesting. Nothing was remotely interesting about the story. It was like, what was the plot of it? These guys rob some washing machines. And then they go to meet up with a mobster. They get framed. They're the patsies.
Yeah, these guys work for
dirty cops who kill everybody.
There's the triad. There's dirty cops. There's a dirty mayor. Then there's a bunch of kids who are working for the triads, but they've been blamed for this murder. And then Tom Hardy has to save this kid from. It's just a lot.
It's just it doesn't coalesce to being a good movie at all. And it has good action. You can watch it for action. It's there.
I thought the action was pretty decent. I liked a lot of the action. There's a crazy like Mexican standoff type ending where just everybody is trying to go for. I got confused like the bad guy's motivations and who was on whose side, and it was just I'm like, why is this unnecessarily convoluted?
Yeah, it was just too much. Now another a movie that I watched that had zero action in it.
Yeah,
was called The Return on Paramount Plus. It's basically the last part of the Odyssey where Odysseus gets home and to his island and finds all these fucking guys trying to marry his wife.
Yeah.
And he has to team up with his son to kill all these guys.
Yeah.
But it's the most I think they just filmed this movie with like $10.
This is from 2024 also, which is crazy.
Yeah. And Ray Fiennes is jacked in this movie as Odysseus. He shows up and nobody knows that he's him because no one's seen him in 20 years, and they think that he's just some vagrant. And he's got to like now go and fucking figure out how he's going to kill all these guys to get his wife and his kingdom back. So it was all right. It was
good.
Not. I can't say it was good. Okay. I can't say it was good. I can say I watched it and it was well acted, and I could say that. Now. The last movie I want to talk. I saw a Frank Grillo movie on Long Gone Heroes. It's on Paramount Plus.
How's that one?
It's a Frank Grillo movie.
Okay,
he's great.
Yeah,
but like that's all. I mean, he has to also go and rescue somebody in Costa Rica.
It's every movie,
and he has like a SEAL team, and he goes and they get in the Mexican standoff and all that shit. So if you want to watch that, watch that. But I want to talk to you about an old movie that I watched after we watched the vampire movie that we watched, the Sinners movie.
Yeah.
I went and watched John Carpenter's Vampires, where the villain of the movie is Terry Silver from Karate Kid as the big bad vampire that they have to kill.
Karate Kid vampire movie.
So it is James Woods, with his big head in a leather jacket as the lead slayer of this team of vampire slayers that is basically working for the Vatican. And they're hunting down vampires across the United States. They're finding nests. They're going in there with all this fucking weaponry, and they're killing vampires. And then, unbeknownst to them, they're fucking with the big bad, the OG one. The OG one's out, is laying low in America. He wants to become a daywalker by finding this relic, and they got to stop him before he does. And it's fucking very entertaining. And even though James Woods has a big head and is a skinny dude, and you don't believe for a second he could kick anyone's ass, there's scenes where he's kicking somebody, and it looks like he missed like a lot of times. But I enjoyed that movie. So that's on Netflix, I believe.
Terry Silver. What about the John Carpenter-ness of it? What does he add to this?
It's just it reminds me of Dusk Till Dawn. Everything is
everything it's copying Dusk Till Dawn.
Or I mean, I think maybe that was copying this. I don't know, but it's a good old vampire. This
is from 1998,
right?
Yeah. Wait, let's mention this one more thing that I also watched on Max. This movie Companion is out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good one too.
This is essentially kind of like an episode of Black Mirror, and it's one of those movies where you don't want to know anything going in. It's a better experience. But
it's fun.
It's fun. Sophie Thatcher, who's in Yellow Jackets, and Jack Quaid, who normally plays like the lovable good guy, kind of plays a great dick in this one a little bit. I really enjoyed this. It's like a Black Mirror episode where it's technology gone bad or maybe freed.
That's right.
I don't want to say anymore. Like, you should just watch it. And it's only an hour 37. It's a good runtime, but I thought it was really good.
I review all of these movies on the Patreon in depth, so you can check that out if you want. Not in depth, but I give it a cursory.
Companion was produced by the guy who did Barbarian, who's got a new movie out called Weapons that has these weird teasers of these kids that looks interesting. I guess a classroom of kids disappears. But Barbarian had some good things in the beginning.
No, I think I feel like this movie's much better.
Companion, I kind of want to watch Companion.
Companion is good. It's it's a good twist. It's funny. It's bloody. It's good. It's surprising.
I mean, there is a lot of like, why the fuck don't you do that? There's so many. There's so many opportunities where he could stop it very easily.
Yeah,
because they tell you how he can stop this very easily. But in the beginning of the movie, but he never does it
because you agree because people are flawed. I don't know.
No, because they write it that way.
I would, Anthony, I think you might like it. Check it out. I'm not gonna say anymore. Just throw it on. It's not long, but it's fun ride.
Okay.
Okay. So this week, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is not Mission Impossible. That's coming in a few weeks. It's Thunderbolts. Geek Boner. We are finally at Thunderbolts release week, May 2nd. Funny note: this is the date when Avengers: Kang Dynasty was originally supposed to release. Was May 2nd, 2025.
Damn.
We have gotten to the Avengers movie. The movie Thunderbolts contains 2 post-credit scenes, as these Marvel movies do. And here's the craziest thing. It premiered last week, so everything has been leaked on the internet, so just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Like the plots and cameos and post-credit scene. Apparently everything's been leaked, but...
God damn you.
Yeah, because it already came out. But I've heard early reactions saying Florence Pugh is very good and it's kind of dark. It's about mental health. Projected to open somewhere between $65 to $70 million opening weekend. Anthony, anticipation level? Are we ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm actually pretty excited to see this. I'm going to also, I think I mentioned this earlier, see this at the Alamo.
At the Alamo, nice.
But this movie they released it last week for some select showing.
Yeah, there was fan screenings and it premiered. So like people have seen it.
Yeah. So when Marvel does that, they at least think that they have a good film on their hands.
Yeah,
so
that's a good sign.
And the early reviews are saying, that this is pretty good. Also, there's a lot of hyperbole in a lot of the early reviews, but
yes,
a lot of people are saying this is a little bit deeper than your normal Marvel film, and there's a lot of bigger themes, and it's more of a story about like mental illness and second chances. And
that's
then
great.
I think and there's with the marketing. I mean, they did put out that there's a lot of good indie not directors, but indie
creators behind this.
Yeah, like the indie staff that joined this film. So hopefully it's good.
Marvel
needs a hit.
It needs to be better than Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh,
that's all. That's a low bar. Let's start there. But this could be very exciting. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four could be two very good movies. Can't wait to watch it. You'll hear our instant reactions on the Patreon if you sign up. So you'll hear from us first before the full review next week on the show. And spoiler threads in our Facebook group if you want to talk about the movie, all that fun stuff. All right, gang, that's it. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
Rug Boy Show on X.
You can find Anthony at the Alamo Draft House all the time now.
Every day, all day.
All day, every day. He lives there. Just get a job there. And you can find all links to things on our website, jockandnerd.com, how to support, how to follow, all that fun stuff. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
We'll beep you next time.
I fucking loved it.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
My balls was hot.